Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Hope you're having a good time with your family and friends and liking these sessions. In today's video in Azure, I'm here to discuss what are data gateways in Microsoft Fabric, what are the options, and how you can go and deploy that from the Fabric portal. So, first of all, as you know, Microsoft Fabric is an end to end data analytics solution. So, regardless of where your resources are sitting, you can go and plug that into Microsoft Fabric service. So if I take an example of my on-prem environment in which I might be having multiple databases, let's take example of SQL. I can go and link that service through data gateway, and then I can connect that to different Microsoft services including Fabric, Power BI, Logic App, Azure Data Factory, just to name a few, right? And in order to achieve it, I need to go and deploy a Windows application in my environment. And this application needs access to my on-prem network. I want to be as close as to my network in order to achieve this and link that to the cloud services, including Microsoft Fabric. Now, when it comes to types of gateway, it can be categorized as in a standard mode and in a private mode. Now, if you're going and deploying this and where it's going to be production environment, the chances are you're going to use for the standard mode because it integrates with multiple data sources and you can also share with multiple folks in your environment. So basically, if you're doing this for the little bit more complex kind of environment, which you're going to do for the production, then standard mode is the one. When it comes to private mode, it only integrates with Power BI service. And if you're the only user and you don't need to share these reports and everything with other users in the environment, then you can go and deploy that in a private mode. But otherwise, standard mode has far more flexibility as compared to a private mode, or it can be also termed as sometime personal mode. Actually, personal mode is a official name. There's also third option, which I will put that into the category of standard mode, what you call virtual network data gateway. Now, this is a fully managed Microsoft service. If you have any FSQ or any A4 SQ or a premium Power BI SQ, you'll be able to go and deploy that virtual network data gateway. And also, if you're dealing with multiple data sources as well as users, this allow connectivity on a private endpoint. so that resources that you have and you want to bring that to, let's say, Microsoft Fabric, it doesn't have to go through private or public internet. So it's far more secure because it provides connectivity across private endpoint. I will come to the virtual network data gateway, but one important point I forgot to tell you, that when it comes to networking, it's only outbound. And it doesn't require any inbound connectivity, so it's all outbound, so it's highly secured, so you don't need to worry about data transparency in this case. So that's important. It applies to all of them actually, right? Now when it comes to coming back to the virtual network data gateway, there are certain prerequisites you need to do. So first of all, you need to register Microsoft Power Platform. It's a resource provider type within Azure. So make sure that it is registered, otherwise you won't be able to go and deploy the virtual network data gateway. And then other thing you need to do is you need to associate. So you need to create a virtual network and a subnet underneath, and you need to associate your subnet to the Power Platform service. So these are some of the prerequisite that you need to know from the virtual network data platform data gateway perspective. But these are the types of data gateways you'll come across. But again, as I said, that the idea behind this is you need a way to bring that data or bring that data to the different Microsoft services, so that you can run analysis against it, right? You can integrate that data, and the data gateway is a via medium which will allow you to achieve that. All right, so enough of theory. Let's look at how you can go and utilize this service. So I'm going to go on to the app.fabric.microsoft.com. So I'm on that particular portal and I have the admin credentials. So first time when you go and log in, and in case you want to go and download the data gateway Windows application, you can go to this download icon, and under data gateway you have two options. You have the one in the standard mode, which I explained, and the other one is in the private or personal mode. So you can go and deploy this Windows application. And I've already done installation of this. So let me just go and open that up. So this is my on-prem SQL Server. And this is the application that I have deployed. It's with the name on-prem data gateway. It was in standard mode. And you just need to follow the prompts. Just go and fill up the name. And you can go and deploy this in a cluster, right? So in case, depending upon how much data we are talking about, right, you might need to go and deploy that. So by default, when you go and deploy for the first time, you will go and name that particular cluster, and then in that you can have multiple nodes associated, right? So let's go and show you once you create that how it's going to be. So here I am inside my on-premises data gateway. You can see the check mark, so it's all working fine for me. I can go under the service settings. I can go and restart from here, diagnostic, network, connectors, recovery keys. When you go and deploy this, it will ask you to create a 8-digit recovery key. So it's all in place. So I'm going to go and close this, and once you go and deploy it, everything is working fine. You will go back to your Fabric portal, and I can go and select my workspace and open up this gear icon under settings. And let's go to the manage connections and gateway under resources and extension. So the name of my on-premises data gateway is with the name my gateway. I can go and expand this exclamation sign here. It gives me the name, obviously, on what device it is. It shows me the status, what version and the state is in enabled right now. If I want, I can also look into the settings. I can go and tweak the name if I want. I can add the description. You can see the contact information. Furthermore, I can also give access to other folks in my organization. So in case I want to add more, I can go and just add that name. It fully integrates with Entra ID, so I can go and add that just for the example's sake. And if required, I can also go and remove my data gateway from here too, right? So this is the way you will go and deploy your on-premises data gateway. And then for the virtual network data gateway, let's see the option here, right? So in my case right now, I don't have any VNet gateway, but if you want to go and deploy this, you can go. It's fully managed Microsoft service. I can go and click on this add new button, right? But as I mentioned, there are certain prerequisites that I need to fix. So for that, let's go to the Azure portal. The first thing I want to make sure that my resource provider, which is Power Platform, is registered. So under subscription, make sure Power Platform is under the registered state. So in my case, it is all good. And then I also need to have a virtual network and a subnet, and that subnet needs to be associated with Power Platform. So since we are here, let's go and create a virtual network also. I'll name my resource group name as boss RG for the virtual network name. Let's give it, okay, I'll keep it in Canada Central. Rest everything, I'm going to go and take the default. If you want, you can go and change the subnet. I'm going to name it as default. That's fine. And let's run the final validation and click on the create button. All right, so deployment was successful. Now what we're going to do is integrate that subnet or associate that subnet with the Power Platform service. And for that, let's go and expand subnets under settings. I'm going to go inside this. And if I scroll this plate and go to the subnet delegation, let's search for Power Platform VNet access links and click on the save button. So the subnet was associated successfully with the Power Platform service. Now if I go, and sometime I've seen that there's some sort of lag, but once you do that, you go and add the virtual network gateway. Now you have to select your license capacity. In my case, I'm running the trial version. The subscription is you go and select that. And for the resource group, these are all the resource group I have under my subscription. So the one that we just created was this. And for the virtual network, that's the name. And when it comes to the subnet, that's the subnet which is there, which is associated. And then I can go and click on the save button, and this will allow me to create the virtual network data gateway from here. So these are some of the things that you need to keep in mind in terms of which are the different types of data gateway and how you go and deploy that from the Fabric portal. Hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.